Right then, that happened in Nisekoi. Jeez, we're finally here, aren't we? After many years of waiting, 225 is that chapter. And I'm talking the chapter for people that have been wanting to see those confessions for such a very long time. Now, people know exactly how I feel about Unadera. I've made myself very point on this, but there was something in this chapter, especially after just seeing the finale, I just went... fuck. Like I literally went, my heart went a bit seeing this. So let's talk about the chapter before we actually get into that part of the emotions. So Raku and like Unadera, we meet from what we saw from last chapter, and they're pretty much saying like, look, okay, there's a bunch of stuff going on and all that. What we need to know is that Marika's over here and all that. That we need to understand that, you know, like Tachibana, you know, she's out there and all that, you know, she's fine. And it's like, you know, Sugumi's here and all that, and then, you know, let's go and all that. And it's like, let's go and put that, you know, that girl in place and all that. And it's just like, and thinking about it, it's just like, you know, like as he keeps asking, this thing, you know, like, why do you think like Chitoge disappeared? Like, you know, I need to know. And it's just like, and like what we saw like Raku thought, it was like, I don't really get it, and like she didn't say anything, but you know, however, after meeting her in America, like I was thinking it's somehow my fault, as she looked shocked for words when she saw me, and that's like, you know, I thought I did something, you know, terrible, which I don't realize. And it's just like, I'm sure that, you know, like, you're terrible though, and it's like, you know, it's nice that that's not the reason, but somehow I get that she's like contemplating, and you know, she always complains a little bit, but the important thing, she locks them away and hides herself and all that. And it's saying, you know, I can't stand like that girl and all that, like, you know, worrying about it alone, you know, I actually really like care what she's worried about. It's just like that, and I'm just thinking that as like Unadera realizes that point. It's just like, you know, like, oh, she's something special to you, and it's just like, oh no, it's not like that though, that is, you know, it's not something big like that. And it's just like Unadera just says there's no turning back now. Ichigo is like, you know, out there everything and all that, you know, he's like, oh, Ichigo, like that. It's just like, you know, this is my last time, I have this one last thing. And it's just like, you know, you out there everything, Raku, my first love, you know that, Raku, you were my first love. I've liked you and I always have. I'm sorry at a time like this I had to say this. And it's just like, wow. So Unadera, although her, you know, like, her whole thoughts and all that was just to say, like, you know, she wanted to do it right now and all that, and she was like, this is the best time to like let it off my chest, otherwise I'm never gonna get another chance and do it. And him realizing that, you know, we've liked each other at the same time throughout the entire day, and thinks about all the things and all that, and, you know, like, you know, we'll promise that we'll be together and all that, and like all the promises and all that, and say, you know, she liked me from the beginning, and I'm just like, I've always liked her from the beginning, always, and just Raku just starts crying, like, and that's what just got me. I was just like, Raku just started crying, and he's just like, he said, I was never going to cry. I was never going to cry. And just Unadera just starts crying with him. It's just like, you know, why are you crying? And he's just like, I don't know, but like, and then the ending of the chapter just right there, it's like the two just like share tears with one another, like, you know, like, and that right there, the confession that everyone's been wanting to hear is, there you go, they're finally confessed and all that. So I think that was just like, Raku like kind of moved on like on his things to Chitoge, and it's just thinking that, look, we can all agree here, Raku's a fucking idiot, like, Unadera's an idiot, Chitoge's an idiot, like, none of them, like, actually use human emotions to, like, describe how they're feeling with one another, like, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's all of their faults, like that, you know. Unadera could have said this, you know, many times. She's tried it, and she's had, like, 3 years to try, and has chosen the worst possible situation to say it right now, like, doing this. Raku, as well, has said this, like, a number of times, although he was flip-flopping with, like, you know, Unadera and Chitoge, and it's the same thing, you know, with Chitoge, like, although she's trying to be considerate of Unadera, and just, I don't know, that just really got me at the end of the chapter, when just, like, Raku just started crying, like, out of just joy and, like, sadness at the same time, and he's thinking, like, honestly, like, I could have been with her any time if just one of us said something, you know, all of this would have happened. And I think that was just Raku. At the end of the day, he has made that decision, but even still, that, like, he wanted to be with Chitoge, I think that really hurt him a lot, like that. It's just thinking that, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, that was the choice. That was the choice right there. And I think, like, those words that he always wanted to hear from her, like that, just, like, he finally heard them, and it was just like, he just couldn't contain it anymore, and he was like, I'm ready for anything, like that. And it's just like, I wasn't ready for that. Like, and it just took him over Swarm. It's just like, the literal chapter is just called Confession right at the end, and it's just like, you know, the tears aren't stopping, and yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, where I said, like, I generally got emotional. Like, it hurt me a little bit. I was like, even still, like, I don't care for Unadera like that. Like, I felt actually generally bad for Raku. Like, I was like, at the end of the day, this is something from chapter 1, and look where he is now, where he's, like, the girl that he liked confessed to him, and he's crying because of out of joy, but out of the sadness that it's like, I've made my choice. And it's just that, and it's just like Unadera accepted that as well. It's like she accepted that she had a chance, and she's just like, I'm sorry at a time like this, but there was no other way to tell you apart from now. So, whew, like I think a lot of people probably teared up at that point when they just saw that, and a lot of people probably marked the fuck out when they saw like Unadera confess right in front of like Raku's face, and just him just started. Like, I don't think any of us just like expected him to just start fucking breaking down in tears like that. That was, so I'm really excited for like the next chapter and seeing like what's going to be happening. And I think what's going to be happening is like, you know, thank you. He's going to say thank you for all that and all that, everything and all that. You meant the world to me, Unadera. And what Unadera is probably going to do is probably going to give Raku that push and say, go. That's all the girls, you know, with like he was there with Sugami. Sugami let him go, like, and try and reach like Chitoge. Marika was there as well. Marika tried to help as well and said her last little bits of peace. She also gave the last bits of peace as well to, like, you know, like to Chitoge, all people and all that. And then now it's Unadera, and it's like, there you go. It's the last girl. Like, the last girl is here to finally settle things once and for all. Like, and just like, it was sad regardless of what. And I know, like, I will never be a fan of, like, I will never ever be a fan of Unadera like that. Like, you know, and I know that. But still, like, I couldn't help but feel bad for her, like, regardless of what. And I couldn't help but feel bad for, like, Raku, because, like, in a scenario where Chitoge wasn't there, it's like these two, like, to be fair, it's like, you know, with these two ever, like, if it wasn't drawn to, like, this critical point, when would there ever been a chance to, like, actually confess? And it, you know, like, it was an interesting chapter at that point, like, you know, but, like, there was a good majority of it where they were just, like, dicking around, and you could kind of tell where it was going a bit, and it was like, I don't know, just, like, when I just saw Raku cry, it just took me, I was like, whoa, like, it just took me off, and, like, that was the part of the chapter that got me a lot, and I was like, oh. And just like when she just started crying as well, you know, just like, you're not the one that's supposed to be, should be crying here, like that. But I think like she started, like, Unadera saw, like, at the end of the day, even if, like, you know, with Raku going to Chitoge, that doesn't mean that his love, like, for her was, like, false at all. Like, I think that's kind of what, like, the whole thing is supposed to be. So, we're going to end off there. I think it was a really good chapter at the end of the day. I think, you know, this is something we've waited for a very long time in the series. And to just see the reaction from the two of them like that, it's just, it was a weird reaction to it. So, I think it's a 9. I think it's a really good chapter. Like an 8.5 to like a 9. I think it's really good. And I know a lot of people are going to get, like, fucking blown away by that. And just... it was like, that last page was so fucking depressing. That last page was just so fucking sad at the end of the day. And I know that people that were Unadera fans are probably enraged right now because they're like, no, fuck this and all that. No, like, you're supposed to be with Chitoge, you know, like, and all that. It's like, you know, like, so... there, I'm going to end it off there, but I really enjoyed this chapter. Like, I think it kind of meant a lot. Like, this is like the, you know, penultimate stuff in the series, so I'm looking forward that we're finally getting this. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about just Raku breaking down into tears and just Unadera confessing like that? It was nuts like that. So I'm going to end off there. So thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you beautiful bastards, though, next time.